Hey guys, welcome back to Mike's Place, and today we have some hard truth to share. Been lucky enough to get your hands on one of these gorgeous bottles of Hard Truth Batch 1 Sweet Mash Rye, then you know you have a treat. Now this bottle right here is signed by Brian Smith, the distiller. Brian's a personal friend of mine, a close personal friend. Of course, no, he is a friend. Wonderful guy. We spent the better part of a day there with our St. Louis Bourbon Society pick team, tasting through their experimental warehouse, which was mind-boggling. And you know what? It's so good. Maybe I should share some pictures with you of that facility right about now. So there you go. You can see what a gorgeous, gorgeous setup they have there. Hard Truth began as sort of an experimental, tiny micro distillery above a pizza place in Nashville, Indiana. Big Woods Pizza. By the way, ate there, fantastic pizza. And by 2017, they'd opened the doors on a brand new, gorgeous facility, their Sweet Mash Distillery. Now, it's located maybe a mile and a half from that pizza place, and it's surrounded by gorgeous land. And Brian Smith and his partners there are just doing some fantastic things with bourbon. Now, I mentioned this release number 1, batch 1. This is one that a couple of well-known YouTube video critics who wear things like ascots, it blew their mind. Sort of end of the year, where did this come from? Because it was released back in November, so it caught a lot of people off guard. And kind of garnered some praise as maybe the best whiskey of the year that no one knew about. I would agree. I did get my bottle here. I love it. It's in my rat hole. I'm going to put it back. That brings me to our group pick right here. No, the bottle's not nearly as fancy as that last bottle, but the stuff inside is amazing. So like I said, Hard Truth Distillery. I mentioned the word sweet mash. What is sweet mash? Well, I know there's people out there in our group watching this who know exactly what that means, and they know more than me. I know enough to be dangerous, but I do know that sweet mash versus sour mash is quite a technique, because if you notice, most distillers use the sour mash technique. That means they take a bit of the previous batch, the silage, the runoff, they call it the bugs, and they use that to propagate the new batch of mash. What that does is it doesn't require a whole big adjustment of pH balances. It also is a little cleaner process, meaning that they don't have to clean as much in between batches, because that sour mash helps to kind of control the pH, therefore controlling any kind of infection that the batch might get. The sweet mash, however, is tricky because you have to scrub, clean, sanitize between every batch thoroughly. You can't let anything remain. So you must be really on top of your cleanliness and have super clean tanks to distill in. But the benefit is this. The sweet mash lets the distiller have a great deal more control over the final product that comes out. So sour mash is kind of set and forget, and sweet mash really is about that mad scientist, hands-on every part of the process, and that's what sets apart places like Wilderness Trail does sweet mash, for example, and of course Hard Truth is sweet mash. Now, how does this rye stack up? This is 113.1 proof, 4-year-old aged rye, Indiana rye, And what you're getting here, I'll put it over here so you can see this beautiful bottle, is a nose that is sweet. And it evolves from this kind of honey sweetness into more of a buttery, almost kettle corn nose. Now, don't get me wrong. This does not smell like a tub of popcorn. It has that sweet kind of candied corn flavor of kettle corn without going over the top. I love the nose. It is inviting. It's got that classic rye. Almost has that mint to it, a little bit of mint. But let's go in for a taste. It's amazing. The nose and the palate are so well matched. On the palate, it opens up. There's that sweetness right away at the beginning. Again, like honey sweetness. So it's not that sugary sucrose style sweet. It's more of a honeycomb, a deeper, richer, caramelized flavor that floods the tongue. I get a bit of that popcorn, kettle corn again, some nuttiness to it. And at the very end, it kind of peaks with a touch of fresh mint and then cinnamon. And the finish, a gentle heat, and at 113.1 proof, it's quite a feat, because those of you who want a smoother flavored whiskey, this is up your alley for sure. It doesn't have a hot burn. It comes back a bit with some cinnamon. I love that. And you get that barrel spice in the back of the palate and then in the finish as well. This is a beautiful, beautiful, balanced bottle of rye. So if you're able to get your hands on one, go for it. This is, my system 012, right? 0 is 2, very good. Well, this is a 2 on the nose, the palate. The finish, I give a 1, not because it's bad, just it's what you expect. So it's a 5 in my book, which is a high score. It's a must buy. It'll be available tomorrow on Friday with a discount for our St. Louis Bourbon Society Patreon members. So keep an eye on your emails. I think they'll go out in the morning at 10 a.m. in the morning. So I do recommend this bottle. Of course, I was on the pick team, so I'm a little biased because I was there to spend the day with Brian Smith, the team, and I feel like we did a great job on this one. So I do recommend it. So guys, have a great day. See you soon.